How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on the month of June, and one of the best months of new game releases in quite a while. There's 3 heavy hitters for the month, but as far as PS4 and PS5 games go, I want to go over the games you should buy, the games I would recommend you to wait on a sale for. You guys know how this works. Let's get right into it. The 3 no-brainers to buy, and for a lot of reason, I would say they are all going to be slam dunk winners. One of them I can definitely understand the argument to wait on a sale for, and we'll get to that. But first of all, Final Fantasy XVI. This is 100% a buy. Since 2020, when the game was initially announced on the PlayStation 5, this has been the game a lot of people have been waiting on, and the excitement for the game really hasn't dissipated. The way Square Enix has handled the development, the marketing, the promotion of this game has honestly been done masterfully. Yes, it was announced 3 years before release, and I'm not a big fan of that, but guess what? They have been very consistent in updating the game. Final Fantasy games in the past have had much longer than 3-year turnaround time, so this is a very pleasant surprise. And the game, the more we see of it, the more compelled I am of it from a gameplay standpoint. It looks like a fast-paced action RPG. Narrative looks incredibly mature. Tone-wise, the game looks like it's geared for an adult audience. It's just a game that I am incredibly excited about, and $70 is a hard sell for a lot of games these days, but with Final Fantasy XVI, it's becoming pretty certain that you are going to be able to expect an incredible game, but not only that, a game that's loaded with content, where even if you just rush through the main story, it's probably going to be a 30-35 hour game, and then if you decide to do everything, and yes, the game doesn't have a gigantic open world to explore or anything like that, more of an open level style game, which I am all for, there's going to be a substantial amount of side content as well, and with the team behind the game, Naoki Yoshida at the helm, Final Fantasy XVI's got a ton of potential, and I think that $70 is going to be well worth it, and it's a game I very much see holding up in price. Maybe you'll see a slight discount during the holidays, but let's be honest, does anybody want to wait 6 months before they play FF16? I don't know, maybe you do. For me, it's a day one no-brainer, and $70 I think is going to be well worth it. Next up, Street Fighter VI I'm going to say is a buy. Now, the thing with fighting games these days is obviously you have the caveat that if you buy the base edition of the game, you're not getting everything. You're just not getting all the content. At some point there's going to be a complete edition, but that's going to be probably years and years down the line, so it's not even something you can really plan for, and the game will probably be discounted to $40 by the fall. But Street Fighter is a franchise that is so incredibly iconic. So many of you are longtime fans of it, and while I'm not a gigantic fighting game fan, I will be checking out Street Fighter VI. I'm excited that there's more emphasis put in the single-player component. I'm excited for cross-platform play. There's just a lot of things that are exciting me about Street Fighter VI as a whole, and I think even for more of a casual fighting game fan like me, I'm going to end up enjoying the game. Best of all, it's priced at $60, so at least it's not a $70 game. I get it. If you want, like, the deluxe edition, it's going to be more expensive, but hey, Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be a $70 game. Street Fighter VI still holding on to the $60 price tag. It is a cross-gen release, but nevertheless looks quite good. I'm excited for that, and I think it's going to be well worth a buy. And lastly, Diablo IV I think is a buy as well. Activision titles, especially styles of games like this, when you're talking about a Blizzard release and a big budget Blizzard release with Diablo IV, this is going to hold up in price for a very, very long time. It'll probably get an expansion at some point, but you're talking long term. For Diablo IV, which you are going to be able to expect is a ton of content for your money, so that's $70, and yes, on PS4 and PS5 it'll be $70, but I think that money is going to be well spent when you talk about value and how much content you're going to get. I think you're going to be very happy with your investment. And hey, if you do want to play the game a little earlier, you can buy the deluxe edition and, you know, spend a little bit more, but when the game drops on June 6th for $70, I think it's going to be a game that a lot of people are incredibly happy with their investment. And, you know, when you talk about all these games being a buy, for a lot of you guys, it's probably going to be an instance of picking 2 out of the 3 up, just because time is more finite than money in this instance, where Final Fantasy XVI is going to be an arduous undertaking in terms of content. Diablo IV is going to be the same thing, and Street Fighter VI, I mean, that's a game built on replayability, so all games are going to be sizable time investments, so more so than money and waiting for a sale, it's really, are you going to have the time to juggle all 3 of these games? That's why I think all 3 of them are going to be worth the asking price of $60 or $70, but in this case, it's more of a time issue than a money issue, so I think for most of you guys, if you got a 9-to-5, if you have kids, man, I think you'll be plenty busy with just picking 2 out of 3, maybe even just one of them up for those of you you that do live busier lives. But for me, I'll be checking out all three, and I'll be giving you guys my thoughts along the way. But very excited, and these are three of the biggest games of the year, all dropping on the same month of June. Alright, so there are other games that I do want you guys to have on your radar, but maybe wait to see how the reviews turn out, and maybe wait for a deeper discount. First of all, we have Crash Team Rumble. I wanted a regular, traditional Crash game. Team Rumble is a 4v4 team-based online multiplayer game set in the vivid and wacky world of Crash Bandicoot. Rumble has players control characters such as Crash and many other friends and rivals, each with unique powers and personalities in a multiplayer competitive title. Not the Crash game I really wanted to see, but we'll see how it turns out, and hopefully it is something that people end up enjoying. We love Katamari, Reroll, and Royal Reverie. Look, if you like Katamari, this is going to be a zany, wacky experience that, you know, it's not for everybody. I can find the charm in it, and I can enjoy it, but certainly, maybe during this time period, it's not going to be one where you want to pick up day one right away, but nevertheless, Katamari offers fun and should definitely be on your radar. Aliens Dark Descent, coming June 20th, so later on in the month. Looks pretty decent. It is coming at a palatable price point at $39.99. It has you drop into the gripping journey of Aliens Dark Descent, a squad-based single-player action game in the iconic Aliens franchise. So it is single-player, done by Tindalos Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. For $40, it might be something that's worth a pickup, but I think you'll be better off waiting for a sale. Layers of Fear is getting an upgraded release. This isn't getting a lot of buzz, but visually, this is going to be something to look at. It is a horror title, so maybe you'll want to pick this game up later in the year when it's more of a thematical time to play the game, but you're getting a big visual update, and you're getting all of the content, Layers of Fear, Layers of Fear 2, all the DLC, and the never-before-told story of the writer. Layers of Fear, this upgraded release, will be coming June 15th. Nocturnal is a game I think you should have on your radar if you're a fan of side-scrolling action games. The game looks pretty good. We'll see how it turns out. We get a lot of games of this style, but from a visual standpoint, I like it, and I think the gameplay looks fairly stylish, so hopefully that turns out well. We've got Loop 8 Summer of Gods. If you are a fan of more narrative-driven titles, this is one that looks pretty good, done by Marvelous and Xseed. Your choices shape the world in this coming-of-age RPG as a new arrival in a 1980s rural Japanese town with a mysterious ability to loop time. Your every decision and relationship will affect the outcome of battles against the invading Kigai. Again, narrative-driven anime-style game. If you're into that genre, another one to keep on your radar. Next up, we have Sonic Origins Plus. This is a ton of content from Sonic Origins, featuring a bunch of classics. You've got classic Sonic redefined in widescreen, all in one bundle. New playable characters at $39.99, a little bit pricey, but for Sonic fans, if you're a fan of throwback, that's something you'll want to pick up down the line as well. And then SOULVARS is another game that has really piqued my interest. A lower key release, a turn-based deck-building RPG inspired by classic JRPGs with a modern twist. Has a throwback art style here as well. It's coming out right around the same time as Final Fantasy XVI, so JRPG fans are definitely going to be busy, but SOULVARS is a game I do think is going to be worth a check out sometime down the line. We'll see how the reception is for that. Also, I would say wait for a sale on Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Now, this is one of the most surprising upgraded releases that I've seen in a while, but Capcom really got their finger on the pulse, and I think this is going to do pretty well. It is priced at $29.99. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, the classic puzzle-solving mystery adventure directed by Ace Attorney creator Shu Takumi, is back, and it's a long-awaited HD remaster featuring upgraded visuals, sound, and new gallery content. $29.99 is a really good price point for a game like this, and if you were a fan of the original, check it out. If you're a fan of mystery puzzle games, it might be something you'll end up enjoying, and it is very much narrative-driven and with a mystery story attached to there as well. I could see it being on sale for $15 or less, and I think at that point, it'll be very much worth a pickup, and it is a classic DS title, so even $29.99 might seem a little bit pricey, but if you were a fan of the original, that is a pretty solid price point to put out a remaster at, so, you know, credit to them for that, given that we're seeing a lot of these upgraded releases and remasters getting more and more expensive. I think $30 is at least somewhat good. Maybe you can make the argument $20 would have been better, but obviously it would have been better. That's cheaper and it's better for us, but $30 is at least somewhat acceptable. That's gonna do it for me. Again, all attention in June is really centered around the top 3 releases: Final Fantasy XVI, Street Fighter VI, Diablo IV, but there are a couple of other releases you should definitely have an eye on. Maybe good pickups sometime in the fall when they are discounted. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.